50 years ago, this nation was confronted with an abuse of power. And it responded not with indifference, but with accountability. And I'll tell you one of the big differences of Watergate versus Arctic Frost. When Richard Nixon and his corrupt attorney general and his corrupt administration abused their law enforcement powers to go after their political opponents, Republican senators stood up to the president of their own party and defended the rule of law.
50 years ago, a president resigned in disgrace for doing exactly what the Democrats just did in broad daylight. But this time it's worse. Not a broken office door, not a handful of files. 100,000 private communications. Nearly 20% of Republican senators spied on. The RNC, conservative groups, your phone records, my phone records, all seized, all secret, all approved from the top. They called it Arctic Frost. I call it treason. And here's what the media won't tell you. What your Democrat friends won't admit at the dinner table. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a few rogue agents. This was a coordinated, three-branch, partisan coup disguised as law enforcement. The Biden DOJ, Democrat-appointed judges, and a legislative branch that looked the other way. They didn't just break the rules. They shattered the republic. And the question today is simple. Are we going to sit here and let them get away with it? Or are we finally going to call this what it is, a desperate, lawless power grab by a party that would rather destroy this country than lose an election? Let me walk you through exactly how they tried to steal power by force. And trust me, you are going to be sick.
Arctic Frost is the culmination of a gross pattern of abuse by Democrats for partisan ends to elect and re-elect a Democrat president. In 2016, Obama's FBI began spying on the Trump campaign just a month before Election Day. In 2020, Biden's FBI met with Senators Johnson and Grassley in an effort to throw off their investigation into the now infamous Hunter Biden laptop, calling the laptop disinformation, a claim we now know was false. The FBI went to the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee and lied to him in an effort to change the outcome of a presidential election. Democrats for years have exhibited the pattern of abusing public law enforcement powers for the sake of politics. A pattern this committee, under the leadership of Chairman Grassley, is now working to uncover and expose. Because no administration, Republican or Democrat, has any business turning the surveillance powers of the federal government against its political opposition. 50 years ago, this nation was confronted with an abuse of power. And it responded not with indifference, but with accountability. And I'll tell you one of the big differences of Watergate versus Arctic Frost. When Richard Nixon and his corrupt attorney general and his corrupt administration abused their law enforcement powers to go after their political opponents, Republican senators stood up to the president of their own party and defended the rule of law. Where is even a single Democrat senator who has said one word about this abuse of power? Is there not one? There are 47 Democrats in this body. Is there not one who can come forward and say, you know what? Turning the Department of Justice into the Oppo research and attack machine of the DNC is not what the DOJ is supposed to be. We were tested then, and there was accountability. We are being tested again now. The question is really simple. Will we uphold the same standard? Will we defend the rule of law? Or will we abandon it?
So let me sum this up for you, because I want you to hear this in plain English. The Democratic Party, from Joe Biden to Merrick Garland to every single senator who stayed silent, orchestrated a plan to weaponize the federal government against their own political opponents. They subpoenaed phone records of sitting U.S. senators. They spied on private citizens working for a presidential campaign. They silenced judges. They lied to the American people. And why? Because they know they cannot win power legitimately. Their policies are destroying the economy. Their borders are poisoning our communities. Their weakness is inviting our enemies to attack. So what do? They don't fix anything. They come for you. They turned the FBI into the DNC's personal hit squad. They turned the DOJ into a political protection racket. They turned federal judges into rubber stamps for a secret police operation. This is not democracy. This is tyranny with a smile. And here is the most disgraceful part, the part that should make every single American's blood boil. In Watergate, Republican senators stood up to their own president. They chose country over party. Where are the Democrats today? Where is Chuck Schumer's outrage? Where is Dick Durbin's investigation? Where is the media's wall-to-wall coverage? Nowhere, because they were in on it. They looked at a plot to destroy their political enemies, to seize power by force, and they said, "Not my problem." Some of them probably helped write the memos. This is a party that has decided the ends justify any means. Any means. Destroying the Constitution? Fine. Spying on senators? Fine. Turning the Justice Department into a partisan witch hunt? Fine. But let me be crystal clear, we are not going to forget this. They wanted to damage this country further. They wanted to crush anyone who stood in their way. And they almost got away with it. But the truth is out now. And the question is, will we have the courage to hold them accountable? Because if we don't, if we just shrug and move on, then Watergate taught us nothing. And the next time, they won't just spy on your phone. They will come for your freedom. They will come for your vote. And they will not stop until there is nothing left of this republic. So get angry, stay informed, and never, ever let them forget what they did. I am absolutely done pretending this is normal.